Me and my husband live in a community inside Kintyre, Jamaica. When we were early into our marriage, we had a few problems. None with love, always about money. We both were hardworking people, both working long hours. I sold fruit a few miles down from our house, and I worked from about 7 in the morning until about 10 at night. My husband worked from home as a handyman, as well as making things people around the community might need. We got by without much, but when the island had a dry spell without rain, no fruit grew, and I was out of work. I agreed to leave for the season just until the rain came again so I could find work in order to help my family. Separating from my husband was hard, especially for the fact that we just had a newborn daughter. I traveled to Rockport, the community inside Kingston. Shortly after arriving, I found a few old friends to help me find work. I found a respectable farm owner and butcher. She raised goats, cows, and pigs, and I would work for her doing the same thing. We became friends. We both had a lot of respect for each other. I liked the fact that she was steady and honest, and she admired me for being dedicated to my family and also good at my job. I gave her all my money to hold on to because I had no safe place to store it. The day came as I prepared to return home to Kintyre, and the farmer laid down all my wages on the table. And she said, "Do you want money, or would you like three advices in its place?" I simply said, "The advice." See, I admired her, and her advice has never seemed to steer me wrong before. She took back the money and said the following: "When you go home, take the highway and take no byway. Number two, lodge not in any house in which you see an old man and his young wife. And number three, do nothing rashly until you have well considered what you will do." Besides these three advices, she gave me some money to get home and also gave me a loaf, which I was not to break until I could eat it with my family. After traveling a few miles, I ran into another old friend heading in the same direction. We traveled together. After a few miles, he said he knew a shortcut that involved going the local way home. I thought of the farmer's advice and decided against it. My friend decided he was going to go the local way and meet back up with me. When we met back up, he told me he was robbed on the local way, and I was grateful that I listened to the farmer's advice. We decided to find a place to sleep overnight, but when we found a place, we saw an old man and a young wife, so I decided not to stay there, because I remember the farmer's second advice, and I didn't think it was a good idea. Their age difference seemed odd, and I also had a bad feeling. My friend decided to stay there, while I stayed at a place just next door. The next morning, a man with dreadlocks came and told me of the old man's murder. His young wife killed him for his money, but the police assumed it was my friend who slept there. He was sentenced to be butchered. He was butchered in front of all of us, but I couldn't watch for long. I packed my things and I got out of there. I continued my journey home. At midnight, I got home. I knocked on the door and a young woman came to the door. I became enraged. I dedicate myself to my husband and my family, and I have to leave my child and he repays me by having an affair? I tried to remain calm, and I remembered the farmer's advice. I asked the woman, "Who are you?" She responded, "It's me, Mom." I was relieved and also so grateful that I didn't react to my initial thought. My husband came to the door, and we all hugged, and I told them of my experience. We sat at the table to cut bread, and all of my money was in there. Now, not only did I have newfound wisdom to pass down, but money to live comfortably.